I never believed in paranormal stories. Not ghosts, not demons, not skinwalkers. Nothing. I used to laugh at people who claimed they saw things in the woods at night. Until last November. Because after what happened to me, I don't go outside after dark anymore. It started when I inherited my grandfather's cabin deep in northern Montana, middle of nowhere. No signal, no nearby town, just endless forest. When I mentioned the cabin in town, people acted strange. One old man grabbed my arm and whispered, "If you hear knocking at night, do not answer." I thought he was crazy. I wish he was. By the time I reached the cabin, it was already dark. The place looked abandoned. Broken fence, rotting wood, rusty tools hanging near the porch, and the forest around it felt wrong. Too quiet. No birds, no insects, nothing. That first night around midnight, I heard knocking. 3 slow knocks on the front door. Knock, knock, knock. I looked outside. Nothing. Then the knocking came again. Louder. Against my better judgment, I opened the door. Nobody was there. Just fresh, muddy footprints on the porch. Bare human footprints. Way too large. And halfway across the porch, they suddenly stopped. Like whoever made them vanished. Inside the cabin, I found an old photograph of my grandfather standing outside. But behind him, between the trees, stood something tall, pale, and thin. My grandfather had circled it with black marker. Underneath he had written, "It copies." That night around 3 a.m., I heard my grandfather's voice outside. "Ethan, help me." My blood froze. He was dead. I looked out the window. Something was standing between the trees. It looked exactly like him, except its smile stretched impossibly wide, and its eyes were completely black. Then it spoke again. Its voice changed into something deep and inhuman. "Let me in." Suddenly, scratching exploded all around the cabin. Walls, windows, roof, like dozens of hands clawing at the wood. I locked myself inside the bedroom. Then I heard footsteps in the hallway, slowly approaching my door. And then my own voice whispered from outside, "Open the door." I nearly threw up. It sounded exactly like me. Then the voice screamed, "Open the door!" The entire cabin shook violently, and then silence. The moment the sun rose, everything stopped. I packed my things immediately and left. But after driving for 20 minutes, I realized something horrifying. The road kept repeating itself. Same dead deer, same broken sign, same turn. Again and again. No matter how far I drove, I always ended up back at the cabin. Then I noticed muddy footprints inside my truck. Fresh ones. I slowly looked into the rearview mirror and saw myself sitting in the back seat, smiling, its mouth stretched far too wide, its eyes completely black. Then it whispered, "You opened the door." The truck crashed moments later. I woke up in a hospital 2 days later, the police thought I was insane, but before one officer left my room, he quietly asked, "When you saw it, did it look like you?" I never answered, because at that exact moment, I noticed my reflection in the hospital window smiling back at me, even though I wasn't smiling.